Serrano? No?
Episode 4.
Just cuts right in the middle of the conversation, starts recording.
Absolutely.
We weren't talking about anything. It was nothing important,
No.
obviously. I don't know if you guys know this, but Mike and I are no longer friends, and we don't talk at all. And we try to save up our conversations for the podcast. So we're sacrificing our friendship for this as we try to talk to each other during the week, and then we just say, no, we're not allowed to talk. Don't tell me anything. We're
I
saving it
put
for the
down my
people.
phone like 5 times this week. I was mid text and I had to just stop the stream and I just said, nope, self control. And I
Got
deleted
to
it.
got to save it for the people.
Absolutely.
All three of them. Got to save it for them.
Hey, man, that episode 3 really got me hot.
Did it.
Yeah, I was
Episode.
fired up.
I honestly don't remember what we talked about, so
I don't either. It's all blur.
I don't remember any of the. I remember a couple topics. That's about it. But yeah, I was prepared thoroughly last time. I had written down all kinds of stuff in my notes in my phone. I had all kinds of topics. I was ready to go. And on this one, I'm back to basically nothing. I just thought of a
Back
couple
to square
topics,
zero.
but they're not great, and I don't know enough about them. So
Hey, I'll tell you what. I retold your story about the creepy old man at the checkout line when you were training.
oh yeah,
I told that story like 5 times this week. 'Cause it's so weird.
it's a good one. That was a good one.
Yeah,
I
it's
haven't seen
so. Ugh.
haven't seen that guy since, but I'm hoping I run into him. I did see another guy at the store yesterday, and he had a pretty awesome T-shirt. Maybe I'll share it with you off the podcast because it's questionable, but I saw it and I was recording the dog's training, and I almost thought about trying to get a clip of this guy's T-shirt in the video because it was that epic. It was on. It was just like it's that typical like middle-aged man. It's like it's along the same lines as like FBI female body inspector. It's like that whole theme,
Mm.
but it was it was
A little
bad.
more appropriate.
Like wearing it in public, I was like, that guy's got a pair, dude. That's crazy that he's walking around a store wearing that is wild. So maybe the people can guess. Maybe that's a good one. They can put in the comments what they think the
Can you give
T-shirt
us the
said.
acronym? What was the acronym?
No, it was like a whole. It was a whole spiel basically, but it
Oh,
was like it was, yeah. I saw it and was like, wow, that takes some guts to wear that in public because I would not do that. I really wish I would have got it on video. I almost walked up to him and asked if I could take a picture of it because I was like, congrats
you
on.
meant, hey bro, where'd you get your shirt?
Yeah, that too. Dude, there's no chance I'd wear what this shirt said in public. It was crazy. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've been doing is just training dogs. All the dogs graduated yesterday and today, so now I'm on my short, if you'd call it a vacation, not really a vacation because I'm watching some other dogs this weekend, but short training vacation, I guess you could say. So sometimes I get 1 day off, sometimes I get 2 days off, and that's what I get for max. And sometimes I get no days off. So it's the life, man.
Well, I am on the last kind of hurrah here before spring break. We're going to go on spring break in 2 weeks from school, which is always an exciting time because March and February are kind of a grind.
For
There aren't
sure.
many breaks in there, kind of just going full speed ahead until you get to spring break. And then obviously I'm going to be out there for spring break, which
Word.
is going to be epic
Of course.
because my mother-in-law is coming with us and I'm just so bummed because I have to show her Broadway and
Ooh.
I'm really upset because I hate going down there. It's
Well,
terrible.
it is opening day of turkey season, so I actually would be kind of bummed being at Broadway because I would
What
rather
season?
turkey season.
Oh, I know about that. Yeah, I don't have my
Yeah,
transfer license though.
easy. Just get it.
Just get it.
Just get it. There are ways you can hunt out of state. Like you can come into the state and hunt.
And just buy like a 1 day pass.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what it is, but I mean I know you can do it. So
I'm sure there's a way where I could just show my hunter safety course completion that I have with my California hunting license.
yeah,
And
that
just,
may not have reciprocity. They may not like that just because it's from
but
California.
I don't know. No, you're right. I think the hunter's ed that I did through the huntered.com, I think it might have been specific to California because you're being tested on California law.
I just mean that they wouldn't accept anything California just
No,
because
no,
it's
no, no. I
California.
meant because you know how for us the hunter's
No, I mean
license.
that's what I mean. I mean you could go and be like, I took hunter safety in California, and they can be like, great, go back,
Yeah,
don't come here.
yeah. Be a
But
man.
yeah,
Like remember those memes with that guy?
be a man,
Get a
use your
real hunter's
hand.
license. Be a
Be
man.
a man, use your hand.
Yeah, so we're gonna go down to Broadway, and it's terrible because I hate country music, and by hate I mean it's all I listen to. And I bring that up because in the news, as of last night we made, and I give that intro on purpose. Did you hear what happened to Morgan Wallen last night?
Yeah, I saw it. A bunch of nobodies making a big fuss that he decided to leave after the show was over.
Yeah,
It's like the show's over. How he left? It's like, yeah, that's pretty much what you do. It's over. He didn't
and
walk out in the middle of the show.
to clarify for people, if you don't know what happened with Morgan Wallen, in 2020, he was scheduled to be on Saturday Night Live. This was during COVID. And a couple of weeks before he was supposed to be on the show, he was filmed, I guess, by somebody at a party not following COVID guidelines. So the I don't know, the producers, the whoever pulls the strings on Saturday Night Live canceled his either performance or skit, and then he ended up, I guess, in 2020 still performing like 6 months later. So they got through that. He did that. He hasn't been on since until last night. And then he performed a few songs off his new album. And then at the end of Saturday Night Live, I haven't watched in so long because I don't believe politically in a lot of what they say and do. So I just stopped. I pretty much stopped watching once like Chris Farley died. Like once the show stopped being funny,
Yeah,
Will Ferrell wasn't on it
yeah,
anymore. I was like,
100%.
you lost me. But
Yeah,
so last night he performs a few songs, and then I guess the way that it goes is the main hosts come out to the front of the show, like the stage, and they kind of, as an outro, they kind of say like, "Hey, it's been a great show. We'll see y'all next time." And then there's a video image of or videos being taken of all of the people that performed, kind of
yeah,
like hugging each other, saying goodbye, having conversations, and like the end credits start rolling. So it's not like that's the way that it goes. That's the process. So
yeah,
he finished his songs, goes out on the stage with the main lady, gives her a hug or whispers something to her, and then walks off the stage right before the end credits start. So that's what everyone's kind of up in arms about. And I started reading some comments and all the peanut gallery out there and all the trolls talking about what a disgrace he is and all this stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, hold on a second. Morgan Wallen has made some questionable choices in the past. We can't argue that. Throwing
yeah,
chairs off of a building,
yeah,
it doesn't even matter that it almost hit a cop. That's happen chance. You could have hit a kid. Like you could
yeah, for sure.
bad idea. Bad idea. But like if you go back to what happened last night, he was paid to perform on Saturday Night Live. He was
Yeah,
paid to perform his songs, to which I haven't seen it, but I'm
no,
assuming he did a killer job because he tends to perform really well.
yeah,
So, in my opinion, he met his obligation. He went out there, sang his songs, and he was done.
yeah.
I mean,
And I
I
mean,
don't really know how much else to say or what else to say.
yeah, I mean, it is like that. There's like that typical scene where it's like basically like B-roll, like everyone's like, ha ha ha, like in the background, and they're all like hugging and laughing. But it's like, if you don't have the bandwidth to like fake it, like you're not like, oh my God, I got to stand back here. And like, there's a good chance that there's people in that, and I know nothing. This is pure speculation. There's a good chance that there's people on that cast that have probably openly and publicly shit on him before,
Oh,
like
absolutely.
just things he's done, because that's what happened with other comedians. Like when they've done stuff that's questionable, like that whole cast just like immediately turns on him, shits on him, goes out publicly and says that they should be canceled and everything. So if I was a betting man, I would bet pretty much everything I have that at least one or two or maybe a lot of people on that cast have probably openly made comments saying that he needs to be canceled. He's horrible. He's racist. So it's like, and that stuff comes up, and like people, will show you like, hey, these are these people that you're going to go interact with, right? Just to give him, his team's probably like, hey, just so you know, here's some of these people, like just a heads up. So it's like in his mind, it's like, okay, These people that have openly probably said I need to be canceled, I fulfilled my legal obligation. I'm not going to turn around and fake and be like, hey guys, let's all banter. It's like, no, I'm going to leave. Like, I did my job. My job, the contract, I'm assuming, doesn't say, hey, and after the credits roll, you have to go back and banter it up and
Right.
have a grand old time. It's like, no. And especially if there's people on there that did things like that. And he's not someone that would do that probably to people that he likes or people that he was friends with. It's not like this was like a group of other country singers that he's been known to be friends with, and all of a sudden it was like this important moment, and he just like turns his cold shoulder and is just like, I ain't talking to no one. It's like these people have nothing to do with him. They're not in the same
And
industry.
I
They're
want to add
probably,
to that,
you know,
kind of like what you're
so
saying though. I think what's getting me the most here isn't just the trolls. It's just the fact that nowadays, with social media and everything that we have, the immediacy of information, how every single person out there, every Joe Schmo from from Kokomo or whatever, every
yeah,
guy thinks that he is somehow his opinion. Even though we're on a podcast giving our opinions, but everyone thinks that their opinion matters. And I look at it and I go, everyone's jumping to say these things about him, like he's trash, he's
yeah,
a disgrace to country music, and I'm like, you don't know what you should do is ask questions. Like if you're curious as to why he left so abruptly, why not ask him? And the
yeah,
thing is, like, what if he had some bad sushi and he was like, dude, I just got through my performance and I got to go hit the head like immediately. Like we don't know that.
yeah. I mean,
You know what I mean? Like,
He did post on Instagram or something like pretty much right afterwards. I don't know if you
he
saw
did
that.
on
Yeah.
in his private jet or something like that.
Yeah,
It said,
get me back to God's country. So obviously
which
there was something that happened that obviously rubbed him the wrong way at some point. Like something happened. Even it could have been something from years ago. It could have been something like I said, something people said years ago, or it could have been that day, or something that happened. No one knows what happened. So it's like no one knows what interaction he had. There's pretty much zero chance that he just did that for no reason at all. You know what I mean? Like
right,
he just left, and it wasn't like he made a scene. He was just like
it's like it's over.
he gave the girl a hug and was like adios. Like it's not like he like tried to stand up there and make some political statement. He was just he's
Right,
left. Who cares?
and he had a party to get to.
Yeah, maybe he had another freaking he's got all kinds of stuff he has to get to. It's like he probably has stuff he has to do every day.
I mean, it would have been a lot worse. You know, I would definitely expect more criticism if, say, after he performed, he was being interviewed and he kind of like cut the interview short and was kind
Yeah.
of rude or disrespectful and just like left the show. But it's like, dude, there's no more audio because the show's over. They're about to run the credits. It's just video of you being like, yeah, we did the
Yeah.
episode. And he left.
Yeah. And part of it is like I mean, it's not all about, money or whatever, but it's like he's been successful. He's the biggest country artist and freaking performer in the world right now. And so it's like, his time, no matter how humble and everything you stay, it's like his time is extremely valuable. And like he gets compensated well for his time. When you go on Saturday Night Live, it's not for compensation. It's people do it because they want to do it. Because you only make like a couple $1,000. You make like $3,000 or $5,000 for the entire week that you're there. It takes a week
Okay.
typically. If you're on the cast, he may have gotten there a couple days
Right.
before.
Because he's just
So I mean,
performing.
but actually, that's true. Actually, I don't know. I don't know how much the performers make. The performers might get paid more, but typically it's not a money thing. Typically it's like a exposure thing, and it's like I'm assuming he doesn't get compensated the normal rate that he's normally getting. So it's like not only is he flying out to he's leaving home while he's not touring, while he has time to be at home. He's going to do this thing that probably doesn't compensate him very well, just assuming. He doesn't necessarily, and it didn't seem like just based on his actions, he didn't really want to do it, right? So it's like now he's flying away from home when he has time free to be at home off tour, not getting compensated. There's a good chance it just seemed like something else happened that probably set him off. So it's like, yeah, it'd probably not be super exciting. You wouldn't be like super thrilled if it's not something that you're excited about. Like if you're not a fan of Saturday Night Live, you probably don't want to do it unless you need exposure. Like he doesn't need exposure. And if he's not a fan of Saturday Night Live, or at least a fan of the people that run it now, then it's like, yeah, he's probably not going to be that stoked to do it. It may have been a booking error, like, his team or something, who knows, but it just seemed like it wasn't something that he really wanted to do just based off his reaction. So it's like, I mean, I kind of get it. He probably gets
So
paid, pennies on the
so
dollar
to
for that.
keep on that vein of country music, there's another thing I wanted to talk about too. The Academy of Country Music Awards are coming up soon. The ACM Awards. I'm trying to look to see what the date is. It says it's Thursday, May 8th at 8 p.m. So kind of a little bit of time. So I bring this up because a couple of things. Number one, I did want to touch a little bit on Beyonce's winning of the Grammy. Um, that bothered me. And what's interesting is it also bothered Chris Stapleton. So I feel like if Chris Stapleton was angry enough about her winning a Grammy for her country album, and he formally submitted a what is it called? He submitted a not a grievance like we'd call it with like a I guess it could be considered a grievance with the Grammy people, saying like,
Yeah.
dude, this is ridiculous. I mean, how'd you
Yeah.
feel about that, her winning
I
that?
mean, in my opinion, Chris Stapleton wins more awards than he's supposed to win. So he wins every
Yeah.
ACM and every all the awards that I think are well deserving of other people, and he wins the same awards every single year for like the past several years, and he pisses me off. It's not his fault, but I just am not a big a fan of him, and he wins every single award. But yeah, I mean that award means nothing. That Grammy means
You
nothing.
know,
There's no one that can look at that, and if you know country music, there's no way you can look at that and be like, that was earned. It's like there's no. It's just no. It's just a joke. It just sits up on a mantle somewhere, and everyone will look back and be like, no, it doesn't
no,
matter.
I'm gonna go back on something you just said there. I agree with you. The award doesn't mean anything in that not getting the award doesn't make or break your career, but it does mean something because people that are outside of the country music sphere look at that and they go, "Oh wow, Beyonce won Album of the Year with Cowboy Carter," and it does say something about country music as a genre. And I feel that they're just gaslighting this, and there's evidence of this for me. In my truck, I have Sirius XM radio. Plug plug. We just got a sponsorship, and
Oh yeah,
oh yeah, in my truck, there's the part of Sirius XM where you can hit your Siri and ask to. I'm such a boomer, man. You can hit your Siri. You know what I mean? You hit the button and you're like, "Hey Siri, I want to play this." So I was in my truck and I went, "Play me country music." And every time I say "play me country music" in my truck, granted, you got to keep in mind my Spotify, which is what the Siri was connected to. My Spotify is like George Strait, Florida Georgia Line. I like Bailey Zimmerman. I mean, Riley Green. The list goes on, right? Cody
yeah,
Johnson, Ian Munsick. I can keep listening to the ones that my radio station is kind of like a for you kind of thing. It kind
yeah.
of AI knows what you like, and I'm like play country music, and the first song that comes on every time is Beyonce, and I'm like, bro, there's no way that is the first song that you think that my playlist wants to hear. There's
Well,
no way.
they just pump money into it. That's all it is.
But that's what I'm saying is that there's something wrong with the whole establishment behind the music industry when these things can be bought.
Yeah, I mean it is. That's what I'm saying. It's like it's. I'm not saying the award means nothing. I just mean to anyone who knows country music and is in country music, they're not like she won that. Like she was given the award, but no one thinks she won. But it's
Right.
like it is what it is, and it's
Everyone
like
knows she didn't win.
well, that's what I'm saying. So it's like it's just one of those things where it's like great if that's what you think it takes to get a Grammy and that's what the lengths you wanted to go to, then great. Honestly, it just makes Grammys look stupid because it's like
It does.
they just lost all merit. Like I wouldn't even want to win the Grammy next year if that was who won this past
No.
year. I'd be like, I don't want that award. It looks like a joke now.
Now, let me ask you this question. So it's kind of like this whole. The reason I bring it up is it's just such an interesting. I guess this is interesting content from my mind. You look at Beyonce, and I think to myself, if we all know as country music fans that she didn't. Not only did she not deserve the award, she didn't win the award. She is not
No,
best country album of the year. So my
not even
question
close.
is, she knows this.
Yeah, 100%.
She knows that she wasn't deserving of this award.
Yeah,
So what's in it for her? Meaning like she puts that Grammy up on her shelf or she has that designation but she knows she didn't really earn it. Like what's the point? Like what does she get out of it? Because she can't be like, "Oh, everyone look at me. I'm so great." But it's, deep down she knows she didn't deserve any of it.
I don't know. It's probably like, she probably had this idea of like going out of her genre and making country music and like, like Post Malone did. That's like the perfect example, right? Like Post Malone basically like moved to Nashville, started like, rubbing elbows with all the country music people, started going down, like hanging out downtown where they hang out,
On a belt level.
go into the writers' rooms, like learning about country music. And he's already a country music. He's actually like a legit country music fan. Like he knows about
Yeah.
all the history of it. But then he started like, you know, associating his life, like, diving in with the country music scene and like earning the respect of the other people that are in country music. So then when he made that album, it was like super authentic and people took to it because it was like he had a lot of well respected other people that were on the album with him and it just seemed genuine. My guess is when she did it, she probably thought that like her, because she's so big, she's such a big artist in her own right, that she probably just assumed like her jumping into country music that everyone would just be like yay and like probably super accepting. But she just made a country music album probably from New York. She's probably never been in Nashville, and then she puts it out and everyone's like,
She made an
nobody
album.
nobody
That's not
respected
a
it.
country music album.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So no, it wasn't genuine. Everyone could tell it wasn't genuine, and everyone. And I'm assuming that when you're a country music, when you're in that world, if you work really hard and that's like your life, and someone comes along who's I mean, she is, whether you like her or not, she's an absolute megastar, right?
Oh, sure.
She's one of the most probably
In
famous
pop music
famous.
and
She's
R&B,
probably,
yeah.
but I mean, in general, she's probably one of the most famous people in the world. Like people, she's probably recognizable all over the world. So if you're like a normal country artist who's doing okay or doing well, and then some megastar in another genre from New York or wherever she lives doesn't even come try to be a part of the scene, just puts out an album and says, "Oh, this is country music." I'm assuming those people that are actually doing the country music are going to be like, "No, like that's not okay." Like, it's probably some resentment being like, "You're not us, you're not down with us. You didn't even try to come be a part of our, this culture and like see the ins and outs and learn the history. You're just trying to money grab because country music's hot right now, and you're
That's
just gonna
exactly what it is.
throw out
It's
this
mainstream.
album and be like, I'm country. I'm gonna try and make a quick buck, and it's probably gonna do well just because my music is extremely popular, but it's not respected." So this is all speculation, but in her mind, she could have just been like, well, since I wasn't respected and whatever, and no one, I wasn't accepted into the country music scene, if you will. Maybe she was, maybe she wasn't. I don't know. I'm not them. So if she feels like she wasn't accepted, she can just be like, well, maybe I just buy this Grammy so one of those guys can't get it. That's my theory.
So I hear what you're saying. So she knew, speculating that she knew she didn't deserve it. She
100%.
wasn't accepted in the circles, and she was like, "Well, you know what? I'm just gonna block you all."
Exactly. Being like, guess what? I can just pay for this Grammy so I can make sure that one of you people who didn't accept me doesn't get it.
Well, here's the beauty of all this, though. The saving grace for all of us true country fans is that this wasn't really a country award show, meaning
No.
she won a Grammy. For me, it's like now, if we have the Academy of Country Music, like that's different. You know what I mean? Like if they're in Nashville and they're doing something where it's like this is to honor country music,
Yeah, but those
that would have
awards
that would
are,
have that would have been more weird. It would have spoken volumes to me.
yeah.
Um, so I bring this up too. So partially going on a little country music away from the sports for this podcast. I'm
Ooh.
looking at right now the main award nominees for the ACMs, like I told you, coming out in
Yeah.
May. And I think the one that bothered me the most, and I wanted to ask you your opinion on this.
Oh, here we go.
New male artist of the year. You've
Yeah.
got Zach Top,
I mean,
absolutely.
he won that. You don't have to list
He's
anybody
already
else.
won. If
It's
you know
over.
country, he's already won.
Don't list anybody else. It's over.
Okay, wait. Okay, wait.
Everyone else can stay home.
Bailey Zimmerman.
I mean, I get you're trying to include him, but he's not new.
Okay, hold on. Tucker Wetmore.
Cool.
Okay, Gavin Adcock.
Isn't it Attic?
I don't know. It's A.D. Cock.
Oh, I thought it was
Adcock?
Attic. Attic? I don't know.
Could
Yeah,
be.
he's good. He's good.
Okay, but then here's this one. Shabuzi.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna say Bailey Zimmerman's new, then
Hold
Shabuzi's
on,
new
hold on.
too.
Bailey Zimmerman has multiple albums with number one hits. Shabuzi has one song, the bar song,
Yeah,
that is arguably not even country music.
yeah.
So I look at that and I ask you this question. If you're going to put Bailey Zimmerman, because I have a chip on my shoulder because one of my favorite artists right now is Riley Green, right? Riley Green has been all over the tops of the charts. He writes his own music. He duck hunts. He's a true Southern guy. Like, he is country music. How is he not listed here, but Shabuzi is?
Well, Riley Green is absolutely not new.
Yeah, but wouldn't he be the same time frame as like Bailey Zimmerman?
No, he's been around way longer than Bailey Zimmerman.
You think so?
Way, oh yeah, way longer. Riley Green's been around for a while.
So you're saying it's because he's not new that he's
He's
not
not
in that
new.
category?
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, he's not new at all. He's won awards before. I think he's definitely not new. And I don't know what the requirements are to be new, but yeah, I mean Bailey's. I mean, I really like Bailey Zimmerman, and Wetmore's good. Gavin Attick's good, but they can literally just stay home. Don't get up out of your seat. I mean, Zach Top won that award. And if he doesn't win that award, I mean, I will riot.
I mean,
I will
yeah.
I
Okay.
will riot. That's
Okay,
insane.
so
If he doesn't win that
obviously,
award, I will lose it.
how about new female artist of the year? Obviously, Ella Langley, right?
Is she new though? I don't know.
Oh yeah, big time.
Well, let's
Yeah,
see. Do they? Well, hold on. Do they consider Megan Maroney new?
she's not on here.
So no.
It is Kasha Ashton,
I don't know who that is.
Ashley Cook,
She's good.
Daisha,
I don't know who that is.
Ella Langley,
Good.
and Jesse Murph.
Jesse Murph's good.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean that's Ella Langley. That's not even close.
Ella Langley takes that.
Yeah, that's not even close. Are we just? Is this like a whole? Are you just going to go through all the nominations and we're gonna predict our winners? We can do that.
I mean, I wish someone could bring me some water. Don't do a podcast where you're talking a lot without having some liquid. Hey, I got an idea. Why don't you talk about the beginning of the MLB season while I go grab myself a cup of water real quick?
The beginning of the MLB season. Well, I really only have one topic to talk about, and that would be the torpedo bats. So I haven't really looked into it that much. So while I try and rant while Mike is gone, the recent controversy involving the New York Yankees, and it's perfect that it's the New York Yankees that this has happened to because everyone already hates them anyway because they're the Yankees, and it's rightfully so. You can hate them, but they have now come out with what is called the torpedo bat. So they had some scientists from MIT work with them, and basically they took a couple hitters and they studied. The MIT scientists basically studied where exactly the ball was being hit on the bats, and they figured out that a couple of players, it's not the actual, all I know is it's not the entire team. There's a couple players now.
The torpedo bat.
The torpedo, that's, I'm going off on the torpedo bat. So they're talking about, they figured out that basically one of the players, and I'm blanking on who it was exactly on the Yankees, but they figured out that he a lot of the times hits the ball on the logo of the bat and not directly on the barrel. So basically, if you're familiar with how a bat works, it's tapered, but it gets larger towards the barrel, towards the top, and then it comes to an end, and the basically the end of the bat is the same width as the barrel, but there's about, a difference of, several inches where you want to hit the ball. And even if you hit the ball off the end of the bat, it's dramatically different than hitting it on the barrel. So what they figured out is basically that top portion of the bat that's the same width as the barrel is unnecessary, because even if I hit it off there, if I take some width off of the top end of the bat and put it in the sweet spot of the bat and make that bigger, because even if the top end of the bat is the same length, same width as the barrel, it doesn't matter. It's not the ball. I'm not going to get a hit off the end of the bat. It's statistically very low. So they're like, well, let's just forego the top of the bat then. If you hit it off that, you're probably not going to get a hit anyway. So let's make the top of the bat smaller in diameter and take that width and add it lower to the bat and make the barrel larger. So now instead of the sweet spot on the bat being, this big, they've now made it wider and it's longer. So it looks like a little torpedo for a bat because the top of the bat is the same width as part of like down here on the handle.
So like an RPG.
Yeah, it looks like a little torpedo. So basically, yeah, they took that width and basically, I forget how the rules state it, but it's there's some sort of loophole basically saying that it just has to be tapered like shape, and the width of the bat can't go above a certain width. But the width they added the width lower, so it's still technically in the rules. And the Yankees went on and hit nine home runs the other day, and they hit more today. So now basically, but there have been other teams that have come out and basically said like, yeah, we've been working on that too. Like we were working on it, we just didn't figure it out.
So
So
here's my question to you, because here's what the pundits are going to say. Does taking the diameter or thickness of the end of the bat, adding it to the barrel, does that put you at more of an advantage? Meaning, is the barrel of the bat, is the area in which a solid hit, like when you're playing baseball and you hit a ball like on the barrel of the bat, you know what it feels like.
yeah,
Is that increasing the amount of surface area of that bat where that will occur?
yes,
Okay,
yes,
so here's my question though.
they proved
So
that.
then,
Yes,
how is taking performance enhancing drugs and getting stronger, like how is that any different? You're putting yourself at an advantage over everyone.
because the drugs weren't legal. This is technically legal, set by the rules right now. That bat is legal.
Sounds like it's a loophole that people are bending words and it's
Yeah.
semantics.
Oh, for sure. I tried to just read a tiny bit about it right before we started, and I couldn't get through the whole article. But yeah, it's basically it has something to do with the word taper and the diameter, and there's a couple words in there that basically like they're too ambiguous, and so they basically figured out that this technically works.
Because
Um,
it's a taper, it's a double taper essentially.
yeah, it's I yeah, there's I didn't see exactly how, but yeah, and honestly, the stupid part was the Yankees announcers. They screwed the whole thing up.
I didn't even hear that.
The Yankees announcers were the ones that were like, "Oh yeah, the Yankees have been doing this study," and they like highlighted it on the broadcast. They were zooming in on the bats. They were talking all about the MIT study and being like, "Oh, this is the new bats they got going." Dude, if I'm them, if I'm like the people who have been studying this for probably years now, I'm going to the broadcast and I'm like, "Don't say a word. Don't bring this up. Don't zoom." And I'm telling them, "Don't zoom in on the bats. Like, don't do anything." Like, because you can't. You're probably not really going to tell if you're not looking for it. But when they zoom it, but
Did you see it?
yeah, but if you're not looking
It
for
looks
it, you
weird.
might not. But they zoomed in on it. But if they're not zooming in on it, you're not every day. You're not looking like, why does that guy's bat look weird? You probably can't really tell. I mean, you might have, but
Well, you would,
they brought. I
like
might not.
from TV land.
Yeah,
The umpire is going to see that immediately.
yeah, but they're not posting about it on social media on a national broadcast.
Yeah, but I mean, you would assume here that umpires are paid to uphold the rule book of baseball. So they're
Well,
going to
the
be like,
bats.
whoa, what is this?
Well, I'm sure the
Right?
bats were inspected by somebody. They had to get this approved somehow. So it's like I'm sure the league knew these bats were coming. They didn't just walk out there and the league was like, "What is that?" I'm sure that someone had to inspect these things or something. Get it all approved.
Let me
So
ask
it's
you
like
this.
they knew about it.
You might know more than me. The Yankees are the team, they're the team that's using these, but are they producing them? Or is it like Louisville
Yeah.
Slugger is the Yankees are making them?
Well, I mean, I don't know exactly who's manufacturing them, but I mean, the whole, the cast and mold and, how it works is, if you design it, if you give someone the cast for it, it's like they can put the wood together, right? So I don't know who's exactly making them, but I know that the scientists or whoever they hired from MIT are the ones that basically made them, or at
I'm
least
wondering
came up
if
with the
just
design.
someone else can use them. Meaning, like, if there's such an advantage, let everybody, like, everyone's just going to get on the bandwagon.
Well, they are once they figure it out. Yeah, and I forget who it was. It was another team. I can't remember if it was the Reds or the Orioles. Some other team. The coach came out and was like, "Yeah, we literally been trying to figure that out too. We just haven't figured it out yet." So they
It's
beat
funny
us to
we're
it.
having this conversation because I had this conversation yesterday with my stepson about the difference between Formula One racing and NASCAR. And it's interesting because if you watched Formula One last year, in my opinion, this is again my opinion, most boring sport ever to watch because Max Verstappen won every race. From what I watched, he won 8 in a row, and it was because his car, the Red Bull car, their engineering was better than the other teams because it's a team sport with all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
But then in NASCAR, so okay, so back up a second. So to me, that's saying F1 is not the driver, it's the driver plus the vehicle, right? Because if you have
Well,
so
did he do statistically like historically bad before he got the better car, or like
here's
I
the
don't know
thing.
I know nothing about Formula One, so
So now this year, the McLaren team
uh
is super good. So their car has advanced mechanically. Now they're winning every race. So what
yeah,
I'm saying is, for me, racing, this is what I think racing should be. It's what NASCAR does. Every single vehicle is the exact same. Granted, you can say Ford versus, Toyota. You might have like small differences in their motors, but they have to be to certain specifications. So it's almost like you're leveling the playing field and you're saying, this is going to be about the driver. Like to me, I want every driver to have the same opportunity to win every week. And NASCAR is cool because any given week in NASCAR, some person that doesn't win every week wins. You'll have good drivers that'll put together a string like Kyle Larson, but it's like overall, it's an equal playing field. When you're watching F1 and you're like, literally, he's going to win every time. To me, that's a problem. I just I like it to be about individual effort, not about the
yeah,
tools. You know what I mean? Like it'd be like tennis. Someone has a racket that's just so much better than everyone else's that they win every time because the ball speed off the head of that racket is faster than everybody else's. It's like give everyone the same racket and see who's better. You
yeah.
know?
I know nothing about Formula One, so I have nothing to add to that. But it's just, yeah. I mean, I get what you're saying though, and I don't know enough about NASCAR to even compare it, honestly. So
Yeah,
I know that NASCAR they do the whole inspections. I know that they like everything has to be fairly similar, and there's a lot of restrictions. So,
yeah, yeah.
but yeah. See, what were we talking about before? Oh, we were talking about country music. Are we going to go through the list, or are we good on that?
Oh, you want to see the list? I'll pull up the list. Sounds good to me. All right, Entertainer of the Year. It's a good one because entertainer doesn't necessarily mean
Well, it would be
best
Morgan
music.
Wallen, but he's not going to win. So,
So, number one on the list, and it looks like it is in alphabetical order. So, this is not because she is on top. Kelsey Ballerini, Luke Combs, Cody Johnson, Jelly Roll, Chris Stapleton, Morgan
okay,
Wallen,
he'll win, unfortunately.
Lainey Wilson.
So, can we give who we think should win, and then who you think will actually win?
Okay, on the count of three, we're going to say our winner. You ready?
Who we think should win, or who we think will win?
Who, if we were picking, would win.
Okay, I
You
know who
ready?
you're going to pick, but yeah,
One. Why?
just because I think I can guess it, but we'll do it.
One, two, three. Jelly
Luke
roll.
Combs.
Oh, no, it's Lainey Wilson. I just said Jelly Roll because I wanted you to feel like you were wrong.
I knew you were going to say Lainey
Because I've
Wilson.
seen her twice in concert. She
Yeah.
puts on an amazing show.
So does
She's
Luke
a
Combs.
great performer.
Yeah.
Jelly Roll stands there. I mean,
Yeah.
let's be
But
honest.
okay, so you want to do 1, 2, 3 for who we think will win the award?
It's going to be Chris Stapleton.
I think Jelly Roll will win, but it could be Chris Stapleton just because they give him every single award every single year for no
Luke
reason.
Combs is super good live, too. He puts on a good show.
That's what I'm saying. I said Luke Combs should win, but it will be. I think it'll be Jelly Roll. I think they'll give it to Jelly.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Well, that was anticlimactic. Let's go with the female artist of the year. Here's your girl, Megan Maroney, Kelsey
she won't win.
Ballerini, Ella Langley. This girl, actually, I really like her. She's a great voice. Casey Musgraves
Oh yeah, she's
and
solid.
Lainey Wilson.
I mean, yeah, Lainey will win that, but
She should.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, I probably should. Yeah, Casey Musgraves could win. I mean, she's good too, but yeah, Lainey will win that.
Oh, this one's great right here. Duo of the year. To see Brooks and Dunn again in a category
They have to
30
win.
years, 40 years later.
They have to win.
Well, you got Brothers Osborne
No.
Dan and Shay,
They're great, actually, but no.
they are good. Muscadine Bloodline,
They're good too.
and then the Warren Treaty.
No,
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of them. But I
me
have
neither.
always said for years that I don't remember what year it was, but Dan and Shay were the middle act of a concert that I saw at Shoreline, and their voices were some of the best live voices I've ever heard at any concert I've ever been to. Their singing sounded exactly the same as it did on the records.
Yeah.
Like exact, and they put on a good show. I've always said that they were like they surprised me at how. Well, hi everyone. You may have noticed that the episode just cut off, so we had some technical difficulties. Mike's camera cut off, as well as we got some interruptions. So that is the end of episode 4. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you next week.